Hey YouTube, Lofter here. Got a couple of things I want to talk about today. The first is the great John Green has finally announced the title of his new book, The Fault in Our Stars. He kept people in suspense for quite some time, and he actually did a live broadcast today to not only tell us the name of the book, but also to read the first chapter. Now, I had to go to work, and I'm a late person to wake up. I mean, if you look at the timestamp right here, that, you know, I don't really know how to remove. Wait, actually I do know how to remove that. I can totally remove that. Watch this. Haha! And now I have APG popping up. He did a live broadcast, and he told the name of his book finally, and also read the first chapter. It sounded like it was about some kids in like a cancer hospital or something, like they were dying or something, or could die. It's hard to really decipher from what little bit I heard, but I have read a little bit from other people who watch the thing on Your Pants, which is a web forum, for those of you who don't know, that was created by, or at least inspired by, John and Hank Green, the Vlog brothers, two inspirations for myself. It was an interesting read. I don't know exactly the thoughts behind it. I don't know when he started the book. I need to research that a little bit, I guess. But it seems like it could be written for Esther, who was a nerd fighter who died about a year and a half ago of, if I'm not mistaken, some form of cancer. I was very new to Nerd Fightaria at that time, so I'm not really 100% sure what went on there exactly. I know that she was a huge nerd fighter. They actually have a Harry Potter charity that they made for her, which is awesome. But yeah, so it's awesome that he did that he wrote this book, and whether or not it was directly inspired by her is hard for me to say at this point. But anyways, huge shout outs to John for being able to reveal that. Hopefully Amazon says May 2012. I will link the Amazon account in the description. I'm also in this video going to link to John and Hank's channel in the doobly-doo. Just for the people who don't know of them, who somehow know of me, which is going to be nobody at this time, can watch that. By the way, I just want to say this video today brought to you by these things. Pretzel M&Ms. They have in no way paid me any money to show this package. It's just these things are godlike. Eat them, they're delicious. They'll make you fat, but holy shit, they're good. Now, the next thing I want to cover in this video is I'm a gamer. There will be video game related stuff on this channel. In fact, on this very video, I plan on covering E3 to some extent. I'm going to cover the press conference a little bit, my opinions, blah blah blah, things some of you might care about, not necessarily what I think personally, but as gamers. Teleporting stack of video games, jump cuts. And now they're on the other side. These are the games that I own. Just a quick run through of them so you kind of get a taste of the kind of shit that I play. We've got Golden Sun, Dark Dawn for the DS. We have Dragon Quest VI, which I have not completed yet. Dragon Quest, what can you say? Squeenix. Ocarina of Time, 3DS. PS3 games. Disgaea 3. If you see a theme so far, you'd be right. RPGs, one of my things. And here we start theme number 2. Dead Space 2. This is actually, I have the Dead Space 2 for PS3, as you will see shortly. I have the Part 1 for 360. Huge into survival horror games, huge into horror genre in general. Not stuff like, you know, Jason Freddy, but stuff like The Grudge, The Ring. Love survival horror. Good shit. Next up, Heavy Rain. I bought this on a whim. It's been great so far. It's story driven. I'm a sucker for quick time events. It makes shit look cool. Final Fantasy 13-1. Ratchet & Clank. This is actually a loner. Modern Warfare 2, another loner. Haven't even opened it yet. And finally, 360 games. Dead Space, Fear, First Encounter, Assault, Recon. Horrible name, kind of redundant, but it's fun. It's creepy, it's shooty, it's got good gun mechanics. It's fun. And on that note, Fear Files. Again, it's basically Fear 1.5. It's not actually canon, it's just fun. It is slow-mo, good stuff, fun. I actually plan on doing game reviews at some point in the near future, hopefully. So yeah, I probably will cover this series first, because there's a lot of controversy involving whether or not it's any good or not. But, then again, Fear 2. Fear 3. Yes, I'm a fanboy of this series. I'm a fanboy of any survival horror series. And now we're into my third passion. We've covered RPGs, we've covered survival horror, and now, fighters. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I have this, and I have Super Street Fighter 4 AE. Eventually I will be posting match videos. I will especially be posting videos when Third Strike comes out on the 360 and it has YouTube upload, because it's like, yeah. So, look forward to that, hopefully, maybe. You want to see some matches? If you're a fighting game fan, you want to see some gameplay, I'll be on it. I've used a stick. I'm of moderate skill level. Far Cry 2. Haven't played part 1. I just heard this is good. Game Rankings gave it a good review, so I'm going to play it eventually. LA Noire. Also good, but in a weird kind of way. Like, it's one of those games where you don't want to sit there and play it all day. You want to play it for like an hour or two, do a case, and then quit. And then come back and do a little bit more the next day or something. You play it at one time, it's going to get really old really quickly. Gears of War 1 and 2. Finished part 1, I know I'm way behind. You gotta understand, I didn't get a 360 or a PS3 until like earlier this year, and technically it's not even my 360. It's my roommate's. Finished part 1, great game. Plan on playing part 2 in the near future. And last but certainly not least, but certainly possibly most overlooked, Alan Wake. Great survival horror game. I recommend getting it if you can find it. GameStop usually has like 1 copy in stock, maybe. But yeah, so try it out. Good stuff. Ow. God, I love these things. So now that you've seen my game collection, not that impressive. I mean, I have some PS2 games and stuff, but it's whatever. Persona 3 and 4. Hang on. I'm actually going to show you these two. Actually, I'm going to show you all these real quick. What I have of the Shin Megami Tensei collection. Persona 3, Persona 4, and Devil Summoner 2. Love these games. Love this company. It's Atlas. They just make crazy shit. Later, I don't know if it's... Actually, it may be out now. I need to check on that. But Catherine coming out soon. The first game that they've put out since, or that this team has put out since Persona 4. Definitely picking that up. I'll actually probably review that for you guys. So, just wanted to touch on E3 a little bit. I'm about a month late, but, you know, whatever. I just started doing this. So, first off, we had the Microsoft press conference. Pushing the Kinect pretty hard. That's cool. I'm okay with the Kinect. I actually want one. Dance Central 2, Michael Jackson Experience would be pretty cool. Deep Dark Secret. I like dancing games. DDR, stuff like that. I'm a big guy, but I enjoy them. So Microsoft's pushing the Kinect pretty hard, which is cool. I'm okay with the Kinect. I like dancing games. I like the technology. I think I could really get into it. I want Child of Eden. Those are cool things. But the problem with them pushing it so hard is Nintendo debuted the Wii U this E3, which we'll get into that in a minute. That puts Sony and Microsoft in a position where they need to start pushing out a new system. I say need to, lightly. They're going to feel like they need to, but the problem is they're not even pushing their current consoles to the limits. So if they pump out another system for $600, we're going to be paying for something that people aren't able to use all of yet. So I'm cool with the Wii U because the Wii's been out for a while and the controller thing's pretty awesome. But Microsoft's really going to have to let this Kinect thing stew for a while. If they push out the Xbox 720 or what the hell ever, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be expensive, and people like me who don't have a lot of money to spend are going to be behind again. Touch on Sony for a moment, because I don't really remember much of the press conference. It was very forgettable. I remember the apology. I remember downloading my 2 free games for them fucking up PlayStation Network, which I don't use, but what the fuck ever. I got Infamous for free. I'm good with that. Lastly, the Wii U. It's a cool concept. The controller is a screen. It's big as hell. It makes the Xbox fatty. Like, you remember the original Xbox controller? This Joker makes it look ridiculously small. I mean, it's a big controller. But it's got a screen built into it. It's got this thing called floating saves, where you're playing Mario. They showed this on the conference. You're playing Mario, and Dad wants to use a TV. Okay, floating save. You're now playing the Mario game on your controller. This is an interesting concept, and they can do a lot with it. I mean, one thing that's obvious is inventory screens and HUDs. Anything that you would usually clutter off the screen and sort of take you out of the experience is going to be in your hand now, and your screen is free to be open, which is awesome. A lot of people are talking about how they're only going to be able to have one controller. The technology, it's not that the technology only allows one controller. It's the technology only needs one controller. I mean, I can think of very few times when 2 players cooperatively or against each other would need that screen. When you go to the store and buy a Nintendo Wii U, it's going to be $100 more than it would have been had they not implemented this controller. So they're going to have to justify the cost of buying a second controller. And I just can't think of any scenario where having a second controller for a multiplayer game like that would be useful. There's not really a whole lot of cooperative, same-screen, first-person shooting going on anymore. They're system linking it, or they're, co-op online. They're that kind of thing. There's not a whole lot of, hey, me and you are playing on the same screen stuff anymore. And while that is disappointing, it's understandable. It's where the technology went. But anyways, so they're not. It's not the technology that's not allowing them to bring the Wii U controllers to multiple, for multiplayer. It's just it's not practical yet. They have no reason to, because why bother? What are you gonna do? Play poker with each other? I mean that is a use for a second controller, but why? If you're gonna play poker and you're in the same room, just fucking play poker, right? Anyways, so that's the Wii U. As far as other E3 stuff, Final Fantasy 13 Part 2, I didn't see a lot of it. I saw a boss fight featured on the Angry Joe show. I'll also link their description in the doobly-doo, because Angry Joe's awesome. Fuck the haters. He showed some video of Final Fantasy 13-2, and it's Final Fantasy 13, but it's got QuickTime events during battles, which makes them even more epic. I mean, Final Fantasy 13's fights were crazy fast, and a lot of time you didn't even get to watch the action. But it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts, You play Kingdom Hearts 1, and it's fun, hack and slash. You play Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's easier because of the QuickTime events, but oh my god, it's so much more epic. Like, you're flying after these dudes, and you're flipping, and the battle at the end where you're just, like, going nuts. I mean, you just can't have controls for that. So QuickTime events, at least for the moment, work really well for that. And I love, if there's anything I love more than a good story, it's a good story with epic shit going on. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They showed some more of that on the floor. They've been showing it at various tournaments throughout the country. It's going to be great. That's preemptive, but A, it's Capcom. If there's anything they know how to do, it's fighting games. But B, me personally, I don't like links. I like chains. I don't like having to, in addition to thinking about all the strategy and stuff going on in a fight, having to work on timing that is down to less than a second. That's just, to me, that's not fun. I would like a combination of combos from Street Fighter 4 and, the speed of Street Fighter 4, where it's more like chess, and I would like to see more stuff like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is fun as hell, but it's also broken as hell. But that being said, Street Fighter Cross Tekken is a combination of the two games. It's chain combos combined with kind of paced, strategic gameplay. It's strategic. It's going to depend on your spacing and stuff. It's going to depend on your knowledge of the game more than it is going to be, rather than how good is your timing down to the millisecond. But that's all for that. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. I don't know how I'm going to edit this video together yet. I haven't read through my rights and stuff on YouTube yet. I don't know what videos I can use, what videos I can't use, pictures, that kind of thing. So I'm probably going to splice in a couple of raw, pictures that I'm going to pull off Google, and call it good. I'm just going to make sure there's no copyright images on it. And then, yeah, just random pictures from random games I mentioned. Splice them in there. You will probably have already seen all that. And then, since the video covers various subjects, I'm going to put timestamps in the doobly-doo, so you can be like, oh, I want to hear about video games, click. Oh, I want to talk about Nerd Fightaria, click. This is going to be the standard for my videos for just a little while until I get more of a direction. But yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. And I will see you guys most likely tomorrow night.